Welcome to the Musicians Creating Prosperity podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Fabiana Claure. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about how you can use the power of artificial intelligence, AI, to unlock so much potential in your business and save yourself countless hours. If you've been curious about how you can better capitalize on AI, this episode is for you. Let's dive in. Welcome to the Musicians Creating Prosperity podcast. And in today's episode, I'm going to share with you the new frontier, how to leverage artificial intelligence to be able to save yourself countless hours, win back your time, and build a business that ultimately allows you to live in alignment with your values. AI, artificial intelligence, is the buzzword. And this is something that I'm sure we're just at the forefront. We're just at the beginning of truly understanding what we can do with it and how it can help us. But I will tell you, I have been on the sidelines for most of the time that AI has come into the world, except in the last 6 months. I decided to pay attention and to actually invest in learning about AI and supporting my team in learning about AI and really looking at how we can improve everything we do in our work internally, as well as better serving our clients. And let me tell you, it has been incredibly life-changing. So in today's episode, I'm going to share with you some of the lessons that I've learned by incorporating AI, what I've seen is now possible, how I use it in my day-to-day business, behind-the-scenes operations, and especially how we've helped musicians leverage AI strategically by being able to customize their knowledge and their background and their brand to actually build a better business and expand their visibility to share their message and share their impact. First, I want to debunk some of the misconceptions that I hear many musicians consider when it comes to AI. There's a bit of I think, a taboo associated with it because somehow I've heard many musicians refer to AI as replacing or being a substitute for creativity. And I'm here to tell you that it does not have to be at all a substitute or a replacement. AI will be a tool that for those who want to amplify their expertise, their impact, and their creativity, it will allow you to do it in a more strategic way if you learn how to use it. Think about it as just when the internet became a thing. There were a lot of skeptics, there were a lot of doubts, even back in 1997 when the internet started to become a thing. A lot of people were saying, like, what's the big deal? Why do I need to learn it? And obviously now we cannot live without it. I feel like the same thing is happening with artificial intelligence. It is taking some people some time to adapt and to jump in. But I'll tell you that the longer you wait, the longer you postpone the inevitable, which is that you're going to need to learn to use it and you're going to need to learn to leverage it for good and to help expand your benefit and the impact that you're here to make. The sooner you get on the wagon, the sooner you start learning about it, the quicker your business will grow and the more impact your business will ultimately make. Let's think about why AI can be your best hack for growing your business exponentially and quickly. In the past, when you built an online business, you needed to go from being a musician, a creative, let's say working on your craft, to becoming a master marketer and learning about copywriting, learning about messaging, learning about writing and communicating the value of what you do very, very strategically so that you can impact and set yourself apart in the crowded marketplace that we're in. Today, if you, instead of committing to learning all those skills yourself, you commit to learning how to use AI and leveraging the skills that AI can offer you as it relates to marketing specifically, then you actually are going to be using your time more wisely because you will be able to leverage into the skills that artificial intelligence already provides. And instead of learning to become a great marketer and a great copywriter yourself, you can learn to create a good prompt and learn to utilize these artificial intelligence tools so that the AI can be your marketer, the AI can be your copywriter, and then you're just leveraging that in order to grow your business. Now, why is that important? Because as you focus on growing your business, there are two things that your time and attention need to go towards. They are creating content and connecting with potential clients. Those are the two things that you're going to want to focus most of your time on. When you do those things right, when you commit to creating content, to building a brand, to being visible, to sharing what you have to say, and then you engage with those who are listening, meaning having conversations, engaging with through enrollment conversations, through sales conversations, through connecting with your community, to engaging with them, doing surveys, just connecting with your audience, then you have a lot of ideas on what your content needs to be about and how to build it into a way that becomes a content generating machine and a marketing engine for your business. And so when you learn to leverage these two core activities of creating content and connecting with potential clients, That will feed you ideas as to how you can use AI better. Why? Because you can do something super simple as simply transcribing your videos, even the conversations that you have with potential clients. If you are holding sales calls and enrollment conversations, you can literally use the transcripts of those calls, which you should be recording anyway, so that you can review and listen back and see how your communication skills are progressing over time. You can easily simply transcribe those with AI. In fact, there are many AI tools like Fathom, etc., that already transcribe them for you while they're recording them. And you can use that into the artificial intelligence system to extract the main ideas or the main takeaways or the main objections that you were handling in a sales conversation and create content out of that information. So this is just a very small example. There's so many other ways that you can leverage AI, but instead of you having to say, okay, what should I write content about today? What should I post about? You can simply transcribe the last 3 or 4 sales calls you've had, and you can ask the AI to extract the main points that were discussed, even to look for the main objections that were held and that how you overcame those. And with that, the AI can actually create content for you. Now, there are different ways that you can leverage AI. There is the general open AI that you can just use from just the World Wide Web. And then there's also custom AIs, which have an additional layer of customization and protection. It not only can allow you to create more privacy in your content, but also allow you to better learn a framework that has already been proven. This is something that we've been very proud to roll out in the work we do with musicians, and since mid-2024. We've actually built a custom-based artificial intelligence system called Marketing Maestro that basically we've programmed with our own intellectual property, the back end trainings of everything we do in the work we do with musicians to guide them into building, growing, and scaling their businesses online. And through that customized AI, we're able to help so many musicians improve their content creating system, but doing it in a way that far extends just the traditional ChatGPT or Claude or anything, but instead uses a framework, right? So if you have a proprietary process or a way that you would want to make sure that the AI is following when it's creating your content, then you may want to explore potentially creating a custom-built AI or even working with a custom-built AI that is relevant for you and your industry and what you're working towards, right? Obviously, if you have questions about the Marketing Maestro, reach out. We'll be happy to share more about how we use this with our clients, etc. We do have options that can make this accessible for any musician wanting to leverage AI in this customized way. But the bottom line is there are many ways in which you can leverage AI, whether you're using the open source AI or a custom built AI. The bottom line is you want to be looking for ways to save yourself time from the day-to-day things that you need to do for creating content and connecting with people. So let me give you another example on how you can use artificial intelligence to quickly recap the conversations that you've had with potential clients, to not have to go back and remember all the conversations. Or, if you are growing a business online, chances are, and you're selling it in a high ticket model, chances are you're going to be doing this, at least initially, through sales conversations. But of course, it'll be impossible for you to remember all the conversations you've had, even if you make copious notes during the calls. Ultimately, AI can be a shortcut to recap what were the main points discussed in that conversation and where did you leave that person? What was the ending of that conversation? And you don't need to go back and listen to the whole call. You can simply ask AI, like, what's the story behind this person? How did this person interact in my community? And there are many CRMs, client relationship management programs like HubSpot, etc., that will already build those in the systems that will quickly recap for you what happened with that prospect so you can understand and just through one prompt, get a quick summary of where did you leave the conversation with this potential client and what are the next steps that you discussed. Now, there's also ways that you can automate, not necessarily with AI, but you can absolutely still automate the process of creating tasks that are more tedious and more mechanical, like following up with appointments or confirming appointments. There are many softwares that will allow you to do these things that are very, very important to help increase your show up rates, right? When people need to come to a conversation with you, you want to make sure you have a very good show up rate, meaning how many people actually show up to the calls. And these are ways that you can automate all of those steps by using scheduling apps like Calendly, like Acuity, where people automatically get a text confirmation before their appointment. So you don't have to do all that manually. And so there are many ways that you can, automate a lot of the systems and the tasks that are going to be a part of running this type of online business, in addition to the AI that we're talking about today. So I wanted to make sure you knew that. And I've had other episodes that I've talked in more depth around automation and the different platforms and systems that I use. But for the purposes of this episode, I want to bring it back to artificial intelligence and why, since I started diving into it more deeply and really having my team dive into it and teach me, actually, I've become a fan. And I absolutely believe that there's no way back at this point. And asking yourself, could there be a way to incorporate artificial intelligence to expedite this task? And even if it's not you, something for your team, if you have a virtual assistant or anyone else that you're working with, ask yourself, are there things that they are doing that are repetitive, that are tedious, that are not necessarily the best use of their time? And how can they also leverage artificial intelligence? I want to empower you to not only think of this for yourself, but also for your team. The sooner you can just bring your entire company on board, and again, whether it's just you right now as a solopreneur, or if you have one or two or three or more team members, looking for ways where AI can become your assistant and empower you to save time. We presented an event, our very first live event a few months ago, and we brought clients in from all around the world to talk about the process of building, growing, and scaling businesses. And one of our featured sessions was actually how to benefit from artificial intelligence and how to leverage it in our businesses. It was so empowering to see how quickly things are changing. And I feel like every time I dive into learning more about AI, I feel in a way more and more behind because it's going so fast. And if this is you right now and you're also trying to dive into it or put your toes in the water and just test it out and you feel like, oh my gosh, this is so spicy, too hot for me right now, I need to retreat, don't, because this is only going to continue going faster and faster and faster each time. And the worst thing you can do is put yourself in this mode of like, oh, this is too overwhelming, this is too tech, I'm not a tech person, and just refrain from diving into it. And I'm not saying you need to become an AI geek or an AI expert. I certainly am not one of those. I don't consider myself an expert on AI, but I am here to share with you how my team and my company and how our clients are benefiting really from AI to grow their businesses exponentially faster, and why you should too. So one of the other ways that we do this in the work with clients and that I recommend you consider is really giving yourself a time to record content freely without feeling the pressure that it's going to go on a live stream or it's being like permanent, and just put yourself in a mode of brainstorming and just letting things go and just recording your thoughts, downloading your frameworks, your systems, and really exploring how can you just let your mind wander and share your vision, your thoughts, especially if you're a verbal processor, just being free to record content without the pressure that that's exactly what's going to go out. But then knowing that with that transcript, whether it's a 1-minute video or a 3 or 5-minute video, you can actually turn that transcript into other pieces of content like blog posts, like email newsletters, like social media captions. Even an ebook can be created through that free thought that you just processed, whether it's in an audio recording or in a video recording, and just give yourself that space to just dream and brainstorm and download your brain literally. And then know that that transcript can be repurposed into multiple forms of content that you can later look at it, and it doesn't have to be published exactly like the AI makes it, but you can actually look at it as a finished product and then become the editor, if you will, the director of the movie. So that you can decide, okay, gets to stay, this gets to be changed and edited at the end of the day the way you see it fit, but not having for it to come all from you on a blank Canva. Gone are the days where you need to be just staring at your Google Doc or your sheet of paper and wondering, how can I create content? What should I make content about? Like, there's no need for that anymore. And all you need to do is, number one, make sure you have clarity around what you want to build, like the vision for what you're wanting to do, even if you're not clear exactly how, but that you're clear on what are you trying to achieve and why it matters. What are the things that you care about? Those goals, those visions, those values will help you streamline this process. And then when you create the content with AI, you're actually going to feel that it's either is an alignment or it's not, and you'll be able to make the changes. I think one of the things that stops musicians from leaning into AI fully is this sense that you will lose control, and that all of a sudden your content is going to be just repurposed and just put in a way that is not authentic. And that's not something that you need to worry about, because you get to click on the publish button at the end of the day. You get to decide, what do you want to keep? What do you want to edit? What do you want to adjust? You don't need to limit yourself just by what the AI is creating for you. So I want you to look at this as an opportunity. Where right now in your business are you perhaps doing things that no longer need to have your full attention? Where could you be incorporating AI in the process of reinforcing your two core activities, which again should be all centered around creating and connecting, right? And I've probably said this in many different episodes because I believe these are the two core things that as creative entrepreneurs we need to focus on. All the other things you may be doing right now, if they don't fall under these two categories and you're spending time editing videos, creating graphics, doing things that perhaps are not what you need to do as the CEO and visionary in your business, then those are the things that you're going to want to start reconsidering. You can even use AI for video editing and production. I know my team uses a platform called Riverside FM to edit my podcasts, and they extract little clips and snippets and things like that they want just using AI. So even for those more manual and time-consuming tasks like video editing, you can use AI. There are platforms that will integrate artificial intelligence to help edit your content for you. And this is, I'm recording this at the end of 2024. I cannot imagine a year from now the things that will be possible with AI. But I'm here to tell you that this is the new world we live in. And I encourage you to explore how you can leverage AI and the things that matter most to you. Where in your life right now are you doing things that are no longer needed? And how can you start changing your mindset about AI if you have been hesitant or you have been maybe skeptical or even resentful about how quickly AI is taking over? How can you start embracing it as a tool, as a friend, and start actually making the time to learn about it and to invest in yourself and invest in your team and invest in your knowledge? Remember, you no longer have to become a tech wizard or a marketer or a genius copywriter. You don't need to keep buying programs to improve those skills. Not that there's anything wrong with those programs. I think that's always, skills are skills. They're always worth it. But it's time for you to now change your focus on learning how to leverage artificial intelligence, how to prompt it. And I challenge you to think about where in your life have you been maybe pushing AI to the sidelines and thinking, yeah, I'll do that later. And instead, how you can see AI as a partner and really realize that the future of music, the future of the creative entrepreneurial world will be in the hands of those who see AI and embrace it as a partner instead of resisting it or just ignoring it. Don't get left behind. I'm here to help you. If you need anything, if you have any questions, we have so many great resources. Not only our Marketing Maestro that we use in the work we provide for musicians to customize their AI journey using the proven methods that we've developed, but also just workshops and general resources that we've put together for artists to leverage AI more specifically around this industry in music. Definitely reach out. We'd be happy to talk more about that and how we can help you leverage AI more strategically in your business. Let's go. Let's save time. Let's embrace technology. Until next time, let's prosper together.